Welcome to Twali TV. Yes, welcome back. Frank Lampard and Chelsea. Well, Frank is in charge now, as most people have suspected. But it's good news for me, in my view. To some Chelsea fans, they don't think it's good news. But you have to see it from this point of view. Frank is operating with no pressure. That's why it's good news for me. Okay, when the manager is interim, they just seems to thrive and just go for it. And I think Frank will do well for the next couple of months or so, for a few months, until they find a permanent replacement. I was listening to Jamie Carragher and Gary Neville, and they were talking about something I've always suspected, that the new Chelsea owners, they are not really, doing things the way, owners should do. Not that they're not doing a good job, but, with the amount of money they've spent on buying the club, on buying players, 600 million is still a figure people still talk about around the globe. Their decisions, sometimes don't justify the actions on the ground. With so much money spent, you don't bring in Graham Potter. You don't bring in calibers of Graham Potter. This is a different level. Okay? And Graham Potter, you can't blame the guy. Tell me a manager that will turn down such an opportunity. The biggest career move any aspiring manager can get. And he took the job and he failed. So that's history. So what's the way forward now? In my view, I said it yesterday in my podcast, the only guarantee for this kind of investment and this type of organization is a manager that is proven. End of story. It's a manager that is proven. If you can spend £20 million to get Graham Potter and the coaching staff from Brighton as a compensation to Brighton, if you can spend another £20 million to get rid of Thomas Tuchel and the staff, then putting into consideration how much has been spent, over £4 billion buying Chelsea, over £600 million spent in the last 6 months or so, then it shouldn't be a big deal paying another world record, break the goddamn bank and bring us a guaranteed proven manager. If we have to wait, leave Frank Lampard in charge and let's wait. Let's wait for the Mourinhos, the Ancelottis, the proven ones. Okay, Julian Nagelsmann is proven, is managed a top club in Germany. Luis Enrique, who is in London having a talk, is proven, is managed Barcelona and Spain. But in Spain and La Liga, Premier League is a different kettle. Seriously, it's a different piece of meat. And, for most managers who have experienced Premier League, especially the ones who have experienced it and failed, they will tell you that there is no guarantee until you succeed. So all those names they are bringing in from Europe, they are good for shareholders. They are good for stock exchange. But please, there is still a big risk element involved. That's all I've got to say. But well done to Mr. Todboli and the co-owners for doing the right thing now, putting somebody that can, stable the club, the majority of the fans will go with. And not that Frank hasn't got an experience. He's managed the club before, okay? Don't forget, he's 18 months in charge. He couldn't buy players. He was having 2 window bans, and he made use of the young talents. He actually propelled some of our young talents to what they are today. So Frank gave the James Reese's, Mason Mounts, their good flow. He trusted them. And they've become a regular, even regular in England, international player. So we have to wait and see what happens from now. Anyway, Chelsea, I wish us luck, and I have to wish myself luck. Anyway, let's see what happens. And that brings to mind another aspiring young English manager, Eddie Howe. If you see the way Newcastle demolished West Ham last night, you would have to give Eddie Howe some serious credit, because this guy, from nowhere, this is the kind of job, that would have been suited to Graham Potter. A big job, but with no pressure. Okay, Eddie Howe, if he had come to Chelsea the same way Graham Potter came, It could have failed as well because it's two different pressure. So Eddie Howe is so lucky he got into Newcastle, and Newcastle is just aspiring to be one of the big boys. The manager himself aspiring to be one of the big boys with the big clubs. So the marriage fits. So, and it's worked out really well, and I'm happy for him. But the reason I'm mentioning Eddie Howe is that people don't give him enough credit. Okay, what the guy has, I used to think when Eddie Howe was first appointed, I used to think, oh, with the amount of money at the Newcastle owners' disposal, I feel, oh, Eddie Howe is only there to warm the seats for the likes of Mourinho and who else, whoever they want to bring as a top manager. But excuse me, I was bloody wrong. The guy now is crystal clear. He's kept his job. I can't see Newcastle hierarchy thinking of changing Eddie Howe. Even if he goes through a bad spell, they shouldn't even think about it. He's built his club. He's molded the players into what he wanted to become. The way Newcastle plays, my oh my, the physical domination, the control of the game, and it's not just West Ham they did it to. They do it to most clubs. They do it to most clubs. So me watching them yesterday just signaled, wow, I have to give this guy some serious credit because they played like they were possessed. Even when they were leading 3-0, 4-1 or whatever, they were still attacking relentlessly. Just my oh my, Eddie Howe, twirly from me, oh, I beg, twirly from here. It's something that should be recognized. People don't talk about Eddie Howe as much as they should. Well done, Eddie Howe. And that brings to mind Arsenal again. I've been talking about this 10-game countdown with Arsenal from their defeat to Everton. And I said by the time the 10-game completes, which will bring us to the last 8 games of the season, that I will be able to tell who is in charge or who is in control for the titleship. And to my surprise, well, not a real surprise really, Arsenal kept the momentum until the 10th game. Okay, we have 8-9 games left to the end of the season, and City hasn't done anything better than Arsenal in those 10 games. They've both had equal records. Arsenal won 7 on the trot, which was the biggest deal within those 10 games, and City did the same. So, and Arsenal and City are still parallel the way they've been from the beginning of the season. Arsenal leading with the same amount of points. So from now onwards, like I said in the podcast a few weeks ago, if you watched any or if you were watching them, or I said the momentum would depend on who carries the same momentum onto this moment, which is the next 8 games, and how they continue. That the last 8 games is gonna be the usual last hurdle chase. Whoever is there, we're going for the last. This is the last hurdle now. Whoever messes up, okay? Excuse my language, I nearly spit that out. Whoever messes up from now is gonna be costly. Trust me. So, and I can't wait. Arsenal Liverpool, or Liverpool Arsenal, I think on Sunday. And Man City Southampton. You would think, oh, Southampton, Man City. Oh, don't deal. Southampton is going to walk. Man City is going to walk them over. No, this is English Premier League. Don't. So let's enjoy the last quarter of the season and let's watch the race, pan out between Arsenal and Man City. That's it tonight, folks. I just thought I'll have to come touch base on Chelsea and what is going on. And that's it, really. We can't talk much until we hear the next development. Let's see what the owners want to do. Let's see them come out and make a statement on their appointment of Lampard. They haven't. Only Lampard has said something. And well done, Frank. You've said something nice for the fans to hear. You kind of calm people down that, I know some don't like me. I know some like me. You've calmed you calm the situation down. And I know that will reflect with the players and the matches. Let's see and see what happens next with Chelsea on the pitch. Okay, have a lovely evening. I'm knackered. Seriously, you can tell I haven't got the energy tonight, but hey, I'm pleased I've done it. Go subscribe. Please subscribe to Twale TV Sports, so I beg. Okay, let's catch up after the game. Hasta la vista.